She came running to our door.
It was a bloody call for help at 2 o'clock in the morning.
She was knocking on it like crazy. You can hear the banging.
Christy Mack, kicked, beaten, and bloodied. Her hair sawed off with a dull knife she says John Koppenhaver used in an attack that was both violent and too graphically sexual to explain on television. When she arrived at her neighbor's door, she was naked.
Christy Mack's life took a sharp turn from the glitz and glamour of the adult film industry when she crossed paths with Jonathan Koppenhaver, better known as the MMA fighter Warmachine. What began as a whirlwind romance would spiral into a nightmare of domestic violence and terror. In August 2014, the world gasped in horror as news broke of the brutal assault on Mack and her friend Corey Thomas. The attack, orchestrated by Warmachine, left Mack battered and broken, with injuries that would shock the nation. With fierce determination, Mack managed to escape and to summon help, ultimately leading to Koppenhaver's arrest. As the case unfolded, the media's spotlight shone fiercely on Christy's courageous journey from victim to survivor. Her unwavering resolve to seek justice and to speak out against domestic violence would captivate audiences worldwide. In a riveting courtroom drama, Warmachine faced a barrage of charges, including attempted murder and kidnapping. The verdict, delivered in March 2017, brought a sense of closure, but also underscored the long road to healing for Christy. Despite the scars, physical and emotional, Mack would emerge as a beacon of strength and resilience. Her story resonates far beyond the courtroom, sparking conversations about the prevalence of domestic abuse and the need for solidarity with survivors. Christy's bravery in confronting her abuser inspired a wave of support and advocacy for victims of violence. But Christy's journey wouldn't end with the trial. With unwavering determination, she turned her pain into purpose, becoming a vocal advocate for victims' rights. Her message of hope and empowerment continues to reverberate, igniting change and challenging social norms. In the face of unimaginable adversity, Christy Mack found the courage to reclaim her life and her voice. Her story is not just one of survival, but of triumph, a testament to the indomitable human spirit and the power of resilience in the face of darkness. Greetings, everyone, and welcome back to Memento Mori Stories. I'm Ella Favela, your host in exploring the shadows of human nature. If you're a fan of coffee, creativity, horror, and true crime, then welcome. You've found your corner of the internet. Whether you're a seasoned regular or just stumbling upon our twisted tales, I'm thrilled to have you here. So get comfy, fix yourself a snack, and let's dive into a spine-chilling tale of love gone awry. But before we plunge into the darkness, let me share a little insider secret. If you thrive on stories which challenge your mind, hitting the subscribe button and ringing the notification bell is a must. It's like joining an exclusive club of truth seekers who are unafraid to confront the unknown. And hey, if you're curious about what goes on behind the scenes, come hang with me on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. There's always some cool stuff brewing over there, and I'd love for you to be a part of it. You'll find all the links right here on screen, and they're clickable down below. Additionally, a little bonus for my Instagram family, the 250th follower will score a custom painting by yours truly, shipped straight to your doorstep with no strings attached. It's my way of saying thanks for being a part of the journey. Before we go any further, I need to give you a heads up. We're about to navigate some heavy terrain today. Themes like domestic violence, assault, and the complex legal landscape which surrounds them. These are heavy topics, and if you sense that it might be overwhelming, it's okay to hit pause or to skip today's video altogether. Your well-being is paramount. If you find yourself grappling with these issues firsthand or carrying the burden of a past trauma, please know that you're not alone. You have choices here. You can live a life free of abuse. Perhaps it's time to share what you've been experiencing with a trusted friend or a loved one, or even consider seeking support from a professional. In the description below, I've compiled a list of resources and links that could offer you some assistance. It's crucial to understand that the intention of this channel isn't to sensationalize or exploit the darker facets of human existence. Rather, our aim is to shed light on them, to foster empathy and comprehension. Open dialogue about these topics helps to erode the silence and to diminish the stigma, paving the way for healing, both individually and collectively. Now, without any further ado, let's dive into the chilling narrative of Christy Mack and Warmachine, an account defined by one woman's unwavering strength, survival instinct, and her unyielding quest for truth amidst the fallout of a highly publicized breakup gone terribly wrong. Christine Mackinday, widely known by her stage name Christy Mack, emerged as a vibrant and independent personality long before she became entangled in the tumultuous saga with Warmachine. Hailing from South Chicago Heights, Illinois, Mack's journey into the world of adult entertainment was preceded by a childhood characterized by athleticism and determination. Raised in a household with her father, a police officer, and her mother, an art teacher, Mack's upbringing was a blend of discipline and creativity. With a natural aptitude for sports, particularly wrestling, she quickly earned a reputation as a fierce competitor. Her athletic prowess and tenacity on the mat foreshadowed the resilience she would later exhibit in the face of adversity. Following her high school graduation, she would embark on a journey of self-discovery, eventually finding her way to the burgeoning world of adult entertainment. Embracing her unique beauty and magnetic charisma, she quickly rose through the ranks, earning accolades and admirers alike. With her distinctive tattoos, bold personality, and captivating performances, she quickly carved out a niche for herself in an industry often fraught with judgment and stigma. But beyond the glitz and glamour of the adult industry, Christy was a multifaceted individual with a passion for art, music, and self-expression. Her vibrant personality and infectious enthusiasm endeared her to fans and friends alike, establishing her as a beloved figure within her community. However,
her journey was not without its challenges.
Like many individuals navigating the complexities of adulthood, she faced her fair share of obstacles and setbacks. Yet, through it all, she remained steadfast in her commitment to authenticity and self-expression, refusing to be confined by societal expectations or limitations. In the years leading up to her fateful encounter with Warmachine, Mack's life was characterized by a spirit of adventure and a thirst for new experiences. Whether she was traveling the world, pursuing artistic endeavors, or simply embracing the joys of everyday life, she approached every day with infectious enthusiasm and an unwavering determination to live life on her own terms. In many ways, her pre-Warmachine era was defined by a sense of freedom and independence, a time of exploration and self-discovery, which laid the foundations for the woman she would become. Though her journey would ultimately take a dark turn, the spirit of resilience and determination which defined her early years would continue to guide her through the darkest of times.
Frantic screams captured on a 911 tape the night former MMA fighter Warmachine entered his ex-girlfriend's Las Vegas home.
And this was a whole new level that I had never experienced.
Christy Mack says Warmachine first beat her friend Corey Thomas, then turned his rage toward her.
He punched my teeth out He broke my nose. My complete eye socket was fractured.
Finally able to escape the terror when he left her alone for a moment.
Now I could hear him going through the drawers downstairs and finding knives. I knew this was my chance. This is my only chance. If I do not leave now, I will die.
Jonathan Koppenhaver, better known by his ring name Warmachine, emerged from the sun-kissed suburbs of Simi Valley, California, a place where dreams of fame and fortune often intersect with the harsh realities of life. His early years were marked by a fierce determination to carve out a path to success, fueled by an insatiable hunger for physical competition and an unyielding desire to prove himself in the world of mixed martial arts. From a young age, Koppenhaver displayed a natural talent for wrestling and for martial arts, skills which he honed on the unforgiving mats of high school gyms and local dojos. Blessed with an imposing physique and an unrelenting drive, he quickly made a name for himself as a formidable competitor, earning accolades and admiration from his peers. As he entered adulthood, Koppenhaver's aspirations turned towards the world of professional fighting, a realm where raw athleticism and sheer determination often trumped pedigree. Under the moniker Warmachine, he stepped into the cage with a ferocity and intensity that would captivate audiences and strike fear into the hearts of his opponents. Yet, for all of his physical prowess and fighting ability, Koppenhaver's journey to the top of the MMA world was far from smooth. Behind the bravado lay a troubled soul grappling with demons of anger, addiction, and self-destructive tendencies. His early years were marked by brushes with the law, struggles with substance abuse, and a series of tumultuous relationships that left scars both seen and unseen. Despite the setbacks, Koppenhaver's star continued to rise, propelled by his undeniable talent and larger-than-life persona. But with success came scrutiny, and with fame came controversy. He became known as much for his outspoken demeanor and provocative behavior outside the ring as for his skill and ferocity inside of it. In the years leading up to his infamous encounter with Christy Mack, Koppenhaver's life was a whirlwind of highs and lows, a roller coaster ride of triumph and tribulation which mirrored the unpredictable nature of his chosen profession. Yet, even as he basked in the adulation of fans and the glow of the spotlight, the dark clouds of his past continued to loom, threatening to engulf him in a maelstrom of violence and tragedy. As we dive deeper into the enigmatic tale of Christy Mack and Warmachine, it's essential to understand the complex tapestry of their lives, the hopes, dreams, struggles, and the demons which drove them inexorably towards their fateful collision. In the world of MMA, where heroes and villains are often one and the same, the line between triumph and tragedy is razor thin, a reality that Koppenhaver would come to know all too well. By the spring of 2013, Christy Mack had already established herself as a prominent figure in the adult entertainment industry when she crossed paths with Jonathan Koppenhaver during a photo shoot, a chance encounter which would set the stage for a whirlwind romance fraught with both passion and pain. Mack, with her radiant beauty and magnetic presence, found herself drawn to Koppenhaver's rugged charm and unyielding confidence. As fate would have it, their initial connection deepened when Mack fell ill with pneumonia during the shoot, prompting Koppenhaver to offer his care and support. Though Mack was adamant that their interaction wouldn't lead to intimacy, Koppenhaver remained steadfast in his desire to be by her side. Instead of pursuing physical affection, they spent their time together sharing pizza and conversation, a simple yet profound gesture which left Mack feeling cared for and understood. In the wake of their encounter, Christy couldn't deny the powerful bond that had formed between them. despite Koppenhaver's disapproval of her work in the adult industry, ironic as he had dabbled in it as well, they embarked on a tumultuous relationship marked by moments of tenderness and passion. However, as time passed, the line between love and violence began to blur. In an interview, Christy recalls, "He became abusive about 4 to 5 months in, but by that time, I was totally in love with him. So in love. The first time I thought, oh, it'll never happen again. The day after, he stayed home from training and coddled me. After every time he would hit me, those were the best days of our relationship." At Koppenhaver's request, Mack would cease her adult film career, opting instead for photo shoots and public appearances. However, as is often the case, this adjustment failed to address the underlying issues. What began as a relationship grounded in tenderness soon devolved into something far darker and more tumultuous. Despite the difficult nature of their bond, marked by cycles of breakup and reconciliation, Mack found herself unable to fully sever ties with Koppenhaver. Despite the pain and turmoil of their past, they would maintain a connection, albeit a connection fraught with unresolved emotion and lingering scars.
This is my only chance. If I do not leave now, I will die.
On the ill-fated evening of August 8th, 2014, Jonathan Koppenhaver, armed with an old key, breached the sanctuary of Christy Mack's home. Within its walls lay Christy and her friend, Corey Thomas, both unaware of the impending onslaught which awaited them. As Koppenhaver barged into the bedroom, his presence shattered the tranquility of the night. With a flick of a switch, the room was bathed in harsh light, illuminating the scene of impending carnage. Without hesitation, he launched himself at Corey, raining down blows with ferocious intensity. He immediately began attacking Corey for roughly 10 minutes. The fighter bit and put Thomas in a chokehold, beating him and barking at Mack, telling her to tell Corey that she belonged to him, according to court testimony. Thomas's cries of pain filled the air as Koppenhaver's fists found their mark, leaving him battered and bloodied. Thomas fled the scene, leaving Christy alone with Koppenhaver. When questioned about his decision to leave Christy in that situation, he stated, "In that moment, you think to yourself,
why am I here? What am I fighting for?
I figured to myself, I'm in the wrong bed at the wrong time with the wrong girl. You crazy kids can figure this thing out for yourselves. I gathered my stuff and I left." When asked if he thought about calling for help after he left, Corey said, "No, because I thought to myself, we just fought, the fight's over." However, Koppenhaver's fury knew no bounds as he turned his wrath upon Christy, his former lover. With relentless savagery, he unleashed a barrage of punches, each blow driving her further into the abyss of agony. The room reverberated with the sickening sound of flesh meeting flesh as her world spun out of control. I was trying to stand up, and he kicked me in my ribs so hard that I started convulsing, she would later recall. As she laid on her bathroom floor, Mack says that Koppenhaver allegedly told her, "That's my puppy, and I'm gonna take it back now." At some point, Mack says, Koppenhaver grabbed a knife and threatened her with it. She says she ended up naked and in the shower, though she's not sure whether he undressed her or ordered her to take her clothes off. She told police that Koppenhaver tried to rape her, but he couldn't get hard and became enraged by that too.
Pathetic.
He punched my teeth out. He broke my nose. My complete eye socket was fractured, she said. Perhaps the cruelest blow of all was the desecration of her identity, as Koppenhaver callously stripped her of her very essence. With cold precision, he hacked away at her hair, severing the strands that defined her sense of self. As Christy lay in the aftermath of the assault, her mohawk lay discarded on the floor, a poignant symbol of the destruction wrought by one man's insatiable rage. Mack escaped the house only when Koppenhaver left the bedroom and entered the kitchen to find a sharper knife to, quote,
finish the job.
Christy then ran naked in the night to a neighbor's house, climbed the fence, and begged them to let her in. The neighbors did not open the door, but they did let her hide behind a wall outside as they called the police. Following the intervention of neighbors who alerted the authorities, the incident catapulted into the public eye. As law enforcement initiated a manhunt for Koppenhaver, notably, even Dog the Bounty Hunter pledged to aid in the search. In the wake of the incident, a flurry of rumors and false narratives flooded social media, casting doubt on Mack's credibility and the severity of her injuries. Speculative comments insinuated that Mack may have provoked the attack or exaggerated her suffering. This response mirrors the dismissive attitudes prevalent in similar cases of domestic violence, echoing the sentiment of, "You never know what happens behind closed doors." Moreover, the backlash against Mack seemed compounded by prejudice associated with her profession. Derogatory remarks vilified her as nothing more than a porn star, suggesting that she somehow invited or enjoyed the violence inflicted upon her. Undeterred by the online commentary,
"She's just a porn star.
She probably likes it rough."
Mack would summon the courage to take to Twitter from her hospital bed, issuing the following statement on August 11th, 2014. At about 2 a.m. Friday morning, John Koppenhaver arrived unannounced to my home in Las Vegas, Nevada, after he broke up with me in May. He moved out of my house and back to San Diego. When he arrived, he found myself and one other fully clothed and unarmed in the house. Without a single word spoken, he began beating my friend. Once he was finished, he sent my friend away and turned his attention to me. He made me undress and shower in front of him, then dragged me out and beat my face. I have no recollection of how many times I was hit. I just know my injuries which resulted from my beating. My injuries include 18 broken bones around my eyes. My nose is broken in 2 places. I am missing teeth and several more are broken. I am unable to chew or to see out of my left eye. My speech is slurred from my swelling and my lack of teeth. I have a fractured rib and severely ruptured liver from a kick to my side. My leg is so badly injured, I have not been able to walk on my own. I also attained several lesions from a knife he got from my kitchen. He pushed the knife into me in some areas such as my hand, ear, and head. He also sawed off much of my hair with this dull knife. After some time, the knife broke off of the handle, and he continued to threaten me with the blade. I believed I was going to die. He has beaten me many times before, but never this badly. He took my phone and canceled all of my plans for the following week to make sure no one would worry about my whereabouts. He told me he was going to rape me, but was disappointed in himself when he couldn't get hard. After another hit or two, he left me on the floor bleeding and shaking, holding my side from the pain in my rib. He left the room and went to the kitchen, where I could hear him ruffling through my drawers. Assuming he was finding a sharper, more stable knife to end my life, I ran out my back door, shutting it behind me so the dogs didn't run inside to tip him off. I hopped the fence to the golf course behind my house, and I ran to a neighboring house. Naked and afraid he would catch me, I kept running through the neighborhood knocking on doors. Finally, one answered, and I was brought to the hospital and treated for my injuries. I would like to thank everyone for their support through this rough time. I am healing fast and well, and I appreciate all of the prayers and the visits I've received over the past few days. After many months of fear and pressure to keep this man happy, although I fear for my life, I feel that I can no longer put myself in this situation. The cheating by him is nearly every day. The almost weekly abuse is now more than I can stand. There is a $10,000 reward for the capture of Jonathan Koppenhaver at this time. Please report any information to your local police. Thank you. Christy Mack. On August 15th, 2014, Jonathan Koppenhaver, who'd managed to evade law enforcement for a week, was apprehended after posting self-pitying tweets. These tweets inadvertently revealed his location through the IP address of his cell phone, enabling authorities to track him down more easily. Koppenhaver was arrested in Simi Valley, California by U.S. Marshals and Simi Valley Police before being extradited to Nevada to face charges. Upon his arrival in Nevada, Koppenhaver was charged with 36 felony counts, including multiple charges of attempted murder, kidnapping, rape, and sexual assault. The severity of the charges underscored the gravity of his actions and the extensive legal ramifications which he faced. Following his arrest, an alarming incident occurred on October 14, 2014, when Koppenhaver was found unresponsive in his cell by a corrections officer during routine checks. He had tied a torn piece of linen around his neck, connected to the leg of his bunk bed, in an apparent suicide attempt. The officer swiftly intervened, cutting the linen and stabilizing Koppenhaver's vitals before transferring him to a medical ward for observation. In a disturbing twist, a suicide note found in his cell referenced the philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche, providing insight into his troubled state of mind. Despite the setback, Koppenhaver's trial was eventually scheduled to begin in September 2015, but faced 2 postponements before commencing in February of 2017. The trial concluded on March 20th, 2017, with Koppenhaver being convicted on 29 of the 36 felony counts, including kidnapping and sexual assault with the weapon. However, the jury remained deadlocked on 2 counts of attempted murder, leaving those charges unresolved. Throughout the trial, Koppenhaver was represented by attorneys Jay Lederman and Brandon Sua, who navigated the complex proceedings on his behalf. Ultimately, on June 5, 2017, Koppenhaver stood before the court to receive his fate, having been found guilty on 29 charges, including sexual assault, kidnapping, and attempted murder. The severity of his crimes warranted a life sentence with the possibility of parole after 36 years, an outcome which reflected the gravity of his actions and the profound impact they had on his victims. Throughout the sentencing proceedings, Christy courageously recounted the harrowing ordeal she endured at the hands of Koppenhaver, detailing the physical and psychological toll of his violent rampage. Her testimony provided a chilling insight into the terror and agony inflicted upon her, underscoring the need for justice and accountability. As the judge delivered the sentence, he condemned Koppenhaver's reprehensible conduct, emphasizing the heinous nature of his crimes and the devastating consequences for the victims. The life sentence served as a stark reminder that acts of domestic violence will not be tolerated, and perpetrators will be held accountable to the fullest extent of the law. In addition to the life sentence, Koppenhaver faced additional felony charges stemming from his attempt to evade capture following the assault. These charges compounded his legal predicament, further cementing the severity of his actions and the magnitude of his culpability. The sentencing marked a pivotal moment in the fight against domestic violence, sending a powerful message to perpetrators that they will face severe consequences for their crimes. It serves as a testament to the resilience of survivors like Mack, whose bravery in seeking justice inspired others to speak out against abuse and to advocate for change. In the aftermath of the trial, Christy emerged as a symbol of courage and strength, using her platform to raise awareness about the prevalence of domestic violence and to support survivors in their journey towards healing. Her resilience in the face of unimaginable trauma served as a beacon of hope for countless others affected by similar experiences. As Koppenhaver was led away to begin his life sentence, the courtroom reverberated with a sense of closure and vindication for the victims. While the scars of the past may never fully heal, the sentencing represented a crucial step towards healing and empowerment for Christy and for Corey, as they embarked on a journey towards reclaiming their lives and finding solace in the pursuit of justice. In an update on Twitter, a month following the attack, Mackinday would state the following: "I've had several dentist visits to make eating more comfortable and to make my smile look more normal. I still have a few more dental visits to go. I had my eyes checked and made aware that I'm very lucky to have my vision where it is, since the muscle is tethered by the fragments from the blowout fracture in my left eye. My multiple nose fractures will be fixed in the next couple of months. While they're fairly symmetrical, my nose is shifted on the inside and out, causing breathing issues. I also make everyone feel how my bones stick out on the left side because it feels so weird. My top lip will regain movement in less than 6 months. Looking forward to using a straw again. My liver seems to be all right. I was admitted back into the hospital shortly after I was released the first time for some minor treatment, but I didn't have surgery. While my face is starting to look decent again from the swelling going down, it's still not my own. Cutting what was left of my hair off and losing 15 pounds, which is a lot when you're 5'1", made me feel even further away from myself. It's hard to look in the mirror every day and see someone you don't know. Today, Mack remains an active advocate against domestic violence and has reclaimed her place in the adult industry, toting the popular hashtag mackmondays and serving as a living reminder that while domestic abuse can happen to anyone under any circumstance, including celebrities in the public eye, it is equally possible for healing to occur in its place. Her journey serves as a powerful testament to the possibility of healing and redemption, offering hope to those who have suffered similar hardships. In the face of adversity, Christy Mack remains unyielding, proving that even in the darkest of times, there's light to be found and a path to renewal. As we come to the end of this harrowing journey through the case of Christy Mack and Jonathan Koppenhaver, it's imperative to reflect on the profound lessons embedded within this tragic tale. Their story serves as a stark reminder of the insidious nature of domestic violence, showcasing how it can permeate even the most intimate of relationships and shatter lives in its wake. But amidst the darkness, there are glimmers of hope and resilience. Christy Mack's courage in speaking out and advocating for survivors underscores the importance of breaking the silence surrounding abuse. Her unwavering determination to reclaim her narrative and to rebuild her life serve as a beacon of strength for countless others who've endured similar trauma. Moreover, the case sheds light on the pervasive issue of victim blaming, highlighting the damaging societal attitudes which often exacerbate the suffering of survivors. By challenging these harmful narratives and holding perpetrators accountable, we can work towards creating a culture of empathy, support, and accountability. As we bid farewell to this chapter, let us carry forward the lessons learned and continue the fight against domestic violence in all of its forms. Together, we can strive to create a world where every individual feels safe, valued, and empowered to live free from fear. The painting I've been working on today is the grand prize won by user Not Quite All There for being the 100th follower on my Instagram. Reminder, the 250th follower will also win a painting, so don't wait, go follow me right now. Anyway, she requested a portrait of herself in my style with tentacles in her mouth and sclera contacts, so I hope this is close to what she had in mind. This was a wild concept, and it's been a ton of fun to put together. However, at the time of recording, February 22nd, 2024, I've only just begun. Honestly, the only thing on the paper right now is the graphite sketch, so I have no idea how long the whole painting will ultimately take me. I'll throw the total number of hours up on the screen right now. I'm into it about 6 hours right now between the concept and design to the pencil sketch. It's 9 by 12 inches and will be composed of some combination of watercolor, gouache paint, Posca pen, India ink, and gilding foil on 300 GSM 140-pound cold-pressed block. Say that 5 times fast. It will not be available for sale, however, many of my other original works are, and my books are currently open to custom commissioned work as well. Additionally, I have an incredibly limited number of prints still available for purchase. These are 9 by 12 inches on archival quality cardstock, and they go for $35 Canadian each or $50 for 2. I ship for free across Canada, but I'm happy to ship globally for a nominal fee. I'm also happy to announce that I'm opening my books to offer graphic design and branding consultations for serious clients. So, if any of the above sounds interesting to you, please send me an email to hello@stageleftproject.ca. If you believe in the power of conversation, in dismantling the silence which shrouds domestic abuse, and in fostering empathy, then I invite you to be a part of the Memento Mori Stories community. Subscribe to our channel to stay engaged with thought-provoking stories, discussions, and creative expressions. Together, we can be a force for awareness, understanding, and healing. Your subscription is not just a click. It's a pledge to be a part of a movement which embraces the power of storytelling to bring positive change. Remember, every voice matters, and yours can be a catalyst for good. Subscribe, share, and let's continue on this journey together. Remember, one day you will die. But for now, live well. Ciao for now.